damage core up against an Oracle with Fate's Edict. So if you just position yourself right here in Siamese Cat and get that Fate's Edict off, get your False Promise off, then you're going to have a lot to give with a Troll. Right? Like, it's all about who gets the jump first and whether or not you can find that backline. Key thing is to find that Omni Knight for Aster and for Entity to find that Oracle on Aster's end.
Yeah. Shout out to the observers as well, by the way. John Scriff and, of course, JJ doing a fantastic job here. Of course, we always get shouted at, John. We got to give the boys in the back a bit of credit.
Of course. They gave us that beautiful wolf cam earlier.
Oh, they did too.
The Morb cam.
Into it, game number 2. Kataomi might be able to set up here for the side of Entity as Siamese Cat. He's going to be cautious here. Monet, I don't know if you should show yourself. They got the Oracle instead with the Stormhammer. Do they have the follow-up? You bet your Nelly they do, Jonathan. First Blood to go the way of Entity once again. This time, Fishman to take the kill.
Yeah, you can't underestimate just how much output is there for Entity. We've seen it from Stormer, but the Batrider changes with the Napalm doing extra damage when you get the cast off is actually insane. It makes the first 2 casts feel pretty painful for something squishy. So Entity set themselves up. That's the same spot they found First Blood last time as well. Yeah. At least Ori's not the one to die this time.
Yeah, if it's not broken, John, you don't fix it. And Entity, they certainly just don't fix it. Just fantastic here so far. Of course, looking into the mid lane to start... Well, we'll look at the bot lane. Why the hell not? Toby is there on the Enigma against XXS on the Mars. Of course, Kataomi going to be there on the support Sven as well. And it actually looks like a tri-lane happening up at top side as Baboka, Siamese Cat, and Monet all together. Really not wanting to allow Pure that safe lane he had last game around.
Yeah, they want to slow him down. They know that there is a lot of aggression with just having Leshrac plus Omni Knight as a duo lane early on. You hit level 3, level 4 timing feels really good for the Lesh there. And you can just really run down. You don't have too much to be scared of from Monet. So they're doing what they can, but this is really greedy from Aster's end. The EXP slowdown, especially for Baboka, is going to be painful for the Tiny. So if they don't manage to get something going here or find a way to get some EXP, then the impact for Tiny is going to be slowing down just a bit.
Certainly will be. Mid lane, of course. Last lane to look at here, Stormer and Ori. Of course, game number 1 already had a very, very tough time, John, against the Batrider on the puck. He's playing Quinn of Pain this time, so at least you do have the blink away to try and escape if he does get too close with too many sticky napalm stacks. But even then, it's not quite safe, especially against Stormer. He put on a real performance last game around, and I think this time around he might just repeat it.
Yeah, it's all about whether or not Stormer can hit 6 first. The one good thing for Ori is that it should be a lot easier to not only escape, as you mentioned, but also take those water runes.
Fishman.
So topping up should be good.
Nice toss back, Baboka. Setting up here for Siamese Cat. Fishman, he'll go for a run, but they should eventually have the damage. Not quite. Hands up, Fishman, he's confident. He'll be just fine. Even salve up, Baboka might go for a salve cancellation with the toss, but really has nothing to toss away. Instead, we'll just chase him down for a little bit. Top lane, though, Pure does end up dropping rather low, and it goes back to it. Like, you run this aggressive tri-lane, Pure's not having the greatest time.
He's not having the greatest time. At the same time, he's not really being slowed down. Still keeping up in CS and is getting aggressive.
Oopsie, I might have just jinxed Siamese Cat here. In trouble, but Pure now, the one being chased down is Baboka. Looking for a bit of a toss back, not going to find it. Instead, he will go for the Omni Knight, so Fishman, in danger once again, will try to run his way out, and here comes Pure. Make sure that they cannot actually secure the Omni Knight. So just kind of having each other's backs here and not allowing Aster the opening they're looking for.
It feels like this is much more painful for Aster. Sure, they're kind of slowing down Pure. It doesn't feel like they're really stopping the Leshrac from fully getting what it wants. It's keeping up with the Troll. And you're hurting your EXP gain on your Troll, on your Oracle, and on your Tiny. These are all fairly EXP greedy supports as well to kind of sacrifice like this.
Well, they certainly are, John. Of course, that bot lane is such a free time for Toby. Like, you saw him on the Lycan last game around. This time in the Enigma, we know Enigma loves getting those item timings. You want the Blink, you want the BKB, you might even want a Lincoln Sphere. Toby, with the way this lane's going, top of the CS board right now, he's going to be online very early. You hit that spike on an Enigma, it's very hard to control.
Yeah, it's going to get out of control very quick if they're not careful.
Jump in, XXS. I mean, they tossed the Sven back, but Kataomi is getting even more damage off. XXS, he did not want that toss. And Baboka, he's kind of in a similar position to last game. Last game around, he was playing Spirit Breaker. Just couldn't really do anything with his cores because his cores fell behind in the laning stage. It's a very similar story as they move in again. XXS, this time within the fog, is going to be fine in that tree line. But my point being, John, as the POS 4 Tiny, you're roaming around, you're trying to find and set up kills. There's just no one to play with, though. In fact, now he might just be screwed. XXS, he's going to be alright, but Boca, he'll be fine as well, but they drop super low.
Yeah, I mean, they're just so low. And look at Kataomi just looking for more in the back. Salve does save XXS, so at least he's not under kill threat, but again, this is just the freest lane for Toby.
Baboka, he keeps tossing. Spear will be there, but Toby's there to back up Kataomi. Avalanche will be out. XXS still trying, but he's going to back off the Eidolons. They're going to stack up and do way too much damage. Meanwhile, Siamese Cat might just drop as well top lane, and does to Pure as XXS. Still trying to run, but the Stormhammer, it's going to land. Entity once again winning both side lanes, it seems like, and you pointed it out, John, but you started off as a tri-lane top side. Maybe it's not a tri-lane anymore, but the fact that they've lost that tri-lane, it's just so detrimental for Aster.
And you just hit level 2 in Baboka. The one shining light for Aster right now is the mid. Much stronger start for Ori so far. Slight net worth lead, tons of denies on his belt, and he's managed to really harass Stormer. The supports of Entity not quite able to play around the Batrider as much as we saw early on, and that is giving Ori the breathing room he needs to hit his 6, hit his level 7, get rune control, and maybe start making moves across the map, building that foundation for the team.
Certainly going to need that backup from Ori, that's for sure. Top of the CS board right now, like you mentioned, having a very good game thus far. Siamese Cat, not so much. Fishman, we'll say hello once again. Omni-Knight obviously very annoying to try and deal with as the Oracle is mid lane. Stormer, he'll get a nice toss back from Baboka. Stormhammer's going to be there to try and help out, but a very nice Sonic Wave. Ori, obviously not going to hesitate to pop that for the mid Batrider. Does secure a very important kill for his team.
Yeah, and that's what they need. Just keep building off like that. You've got a great time on your Quap. He's managed to bully Stormer this time around. And the support rotations from Entity don't feel as great. Like, the Stormhammer can be good. The Omni-Knight can be pretty good with Heavenly Grace as well.
Oh,
They do
nice
find
kill.
Pure.
Aster, able to pick off another. That's an important one. The Pos 1 Leshrac going down. We'll see the toss back here from Baboka. Sonic Wave just coming off cooldown. And off you go. Batrider gone. They just can't help him out. And in the meantime, again, Pure ends up dropping top lane. Massive kills for Aster now.
Yeah, that's building up for Aster. Still looking pretty even across the board. Less than 1k lead going to Aster now, though. And that's where the momentum is really coming in, is still on Ori. Like, this Quap start is just really damn good. Going for the Witchblade next, even more output. And when you look at Entity's draft, they don't have the best hold.
Naomi, you'll be there to set up. Siamese Cat will have to go down. Pure, able to get some sweet, sweet revenge back onto the Oracle. So a nice little rotation from the Pos 4 Sven. That'll be a 2-4 now. Aster still holding a very slight net worth lead. Of course, naturally, you are seeing some stacks being made here by Stormer, and that should allow Stormer to try and gain the net worth advantage back his way on the Batrider, assuming Ori doesn't manage to steal them away on the Quap. But now Entity and Aster, still a very close game between these two, but mid lane, there is a bit of a group up happening. Kataomi once again onto Baboka, but Baboka, he's happy for the toss back into Ori. They've got that Batrider. Stormer, barely going to be able to get out. Just barely. They just didn't have the follow-up as Ori was way too low on mana. That'd be enough. In fact, never mind, it won't be. Ori jumping back in, but does he have the follow-up? Not quite. He will at least force the Batrider back towards the fountain, though.
Yeah, and this is really good for Aster. If they manage to scout out the jungle and maybe contest it before the Batrider is ready to take it, that recovery that we saw last time for Stormer, that ramp up for him from game 1, might not repeat itself. Because the medium camps are still very clearable by the Batrider, as our panel pointed out. And again, you just need to take that away. So we'll see if that's something Aster does plan to do. The pressure on mid has been important.
That's a big one. Monet, he had the battle trance anyway in case he needed it. XXS, he'll TP up top just in case they need the backup. But now, Monet going to be just fine. Kataomi, can't say the same for him. He may just get caught out at the top side as Monet just going to move right back in. They'll see XXS. At the very least, it's only the support Sven going down rather than Pure getting caught out on the Leshrac. Still a nice kill though, as Baboka still going to find said Leshrac. Toss back into the loving arms of Monet. Pure, oh, he'll miss the stun as well. Monet, he'll be very happy seeing that.
Yeah, it's a big kill to get, again, slowing down the Leshrac's initial timings. This is a lot of space coming up from Toby, and you know what? Considering the timings of a Lesh, it's mid-game ramps and it's late-game sort of scaling up and down with BKBs as they come and go. I don't think the investment onto Toby is all too bad. He does have an early earn-up, rushing the Blink, along with the Arcane Boots already up and running. So you actually have this ace up your sleeve here for Entity, where an early Blink Black Hole might make all the difference in the world.
Baboka doing some great work here on this Tiny John, just going in and soaking some XP off that Bat Rider, just trying to be as annoying as humanly possible. Even getting the boundary rune for his team. Fishman trying to do the same against Ori, but hands up. Meanwhile, top lane, of course, the top tier 1 tower is slowly dropping here to Aster. Entity not at all interested in trying to defend that. To be fair to them, though, John, they got the bot tier 1 ages ago, so there's absolutely no need to try and defend that.
Yeah, they just got the bot tier 1.
Alarm.
Looks like we've got some issues.
Okay.
So it's going to be a bit of a wait. You know, it is Southeast Asia. Sometimes you get some alarms, sometimes you get something else. It is the region.
Fishman drops the XD as well. I mean, why the hell, dog? Good to see both teams in good spirits.
Pierre says they are on fire.
On fire?
Hopefully they aren't actually on fire, but the alarm should be at least a nice warning sign. I'm going to take a little bit to figure things out here. So we're going to be stuck in our classic Southeast Asian pause here, Mike.
This is a very new one, though, Jonathan. I mean, we've had Discord issues, we've had internet issues, we've had DC issues. Never have I heard an alarm issue going on.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to recall. I think we've had... I think maybe one of the DPC games had a fire alarm as well.
Right.
At some point. Although I believe that was more of NA that I really recall.
Look at this beautiful replay, Jonathan. Storm. We just get to see it all nice and slow. Beautiful sight.
Yeah, I think the TP was just a little bit too slow out there from our Omni Knight. I'm not sure if a nice Heavenly Guardian would have helped anyway with the extra strength. But yeah, Aster is looking at the opportunities. And again, we have that classic C pause. Now, going into reasons for pause, we've had Typhoon pauses before.
Right.
We've had... trying to think. Earthquake. No, well, we didn't pause, but I had an Earthquake and ran the hell out. All right, do you remember that? We were mid-cast. I was like, I suddenly said, I have to run, drop the headset, blast it out of the house.
Can
Earthquakes are great.
someone really stop it? What does that mean?
Someone stop the alarm, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Can someone... I'm old.
You are showing your age here, Mike. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I just stick to the XDs, you know. Any XD enjoyers in chat? There's always an XD enjoyer in chat.
I like the low caps XD.
The low caps XD.
Yeah, the low cap one, it's just XD with no caps at all.
That's terrible.
It's more youthful, isn't it? That's what the young ones do when they want to be sarcastic. It's much more offensive to drop a low caps XD in game.
You think?
I think so.
Yeah.
You know, a small X and a large D just kind of makes you look like an idiot.
What?
I don't know, it just seems like you're actually having a good time. You don't want to look like you're having a good time when you're playing this game, because how many of us actually have a good time? You want to be sarcastic. You want to pull them down. It's Southeast Asia.
Well, these guys look like they're having a great time, Jonathan. Of course, Entity, very handsome lads here. Smiles all across the board. And Aster, the same. Obviously, just having a laugh to each other. We can't hear the alarms. Luckily, we have no idea what the alarm sounds like, but there's an alarm going on right now. They look very confused as to what's going on. You guys look great, though. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you know what? What are the chances that Slacks might have done something running around with that cart? I mean, he could have been just trying to redo, say, Snapfire on a cart. That could have been it. Went a little bit too far.
You know what? He did throw that damn hand warmer from...
oh, yeah, he did. He did, didn't he? Yeah,
hand warmer.
It is magnetic. It's got iron in it.
Yeah.
Stuck right up on that pillar.
This is Slacks' fault. This is actually... That hand warmer is probably still just hot up there, just melting the metal. It's terrible things by Slacks, of course. He always managed to screw something up. Like, I can't believe this guy still gets hired.
He's going to have some words when we see him. You know that.
When we see him, John. If we see him.
If we see him.
After this incident, I don't think so. He might just be going to the airport.
That is right. That is right. This is... well, it must be blaring loud. You know how those alarms are, right? They are very bloody loud.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how long it does take to get sorted. John, we're in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Right? There's only so much we can talk about. Obviously, the game is paused right now, pretty early on. Talk to me about your experiences, John. How's the city of Kuala Lumpur been treating you so far?
I like it.
Right.
I actually really enjoy it. I expected it. You know, I stayed in Singapore for 8 years. I thought it would be fairly similar, but the vibe is a lot more lively. It's a very lively place, and you know, it's really affordable in comparison. I mean, you know, you live 8 years in Singapore, you're used to, or you get tired of how expensive everything is. So it becomes really draining to go out and have fun. But yeah, it's really nice here. The food's great.
It certainly is. Highly recommend everyone come visit this beautiful country. Of course, we are going to have to take a short break while this issue is getting rectified, but we'll be right back once the pause is over. We'll see you then. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are back into game number 2 here between Aster and Entity. Of course, thank you so much for your patience. We do get back into game number 2. Jonathan, thank you for your patience, even though you were very impatient. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. You know, I wanted to talk more about food. You know me, Mike. I love my food. I love my Malaysian food. Haven't had my nasi padang, but we do have a great game on hand.
We do.
Already ready to go. It was a little fire drill. Slacks didn't set the building on fire.
Yes, he did.
He is out. He is cleared, and we are ready to go.
Don't defend Slacks like that. You know he did something stupid, John. Smoke up. Smoke on smoke situation. A 2v2 smoke going on here, and they're going to run right into each other. Stormer, he does have a haste and lasso available, or he's going to spot him out first, though, with a sonic wave. They might blow him up, and they should have it. In fact, purifying flames will be more than enough. The Boca really ensuring they can't get it done. Jonathan, what is so funny to you,
He got stuck in the cliff. It's always kind of funny. He had to TP out, so at least he had his free TP on hand. Bails out. They get a nice kill. Waste the haste. He used up that as well. So Aster, again, from before the pause, they've been picking up.
Right in the nick of time. Has found Pure. He'll pop the Diabolic Edict, but he is trapped up. Manet going to move his way in, but misses the silence, or rather the slow. His axe is not going to connect, so the Leshrac going to be just fine. But Boca, he'll get a tip. He did a great job, but they just couldn't get the job done.
Yeah, and Pure is going to just have to walk back. He is clearing out his stacks. So the build up a while ago is still going Entity's way. Aster not able to really invade and stop that catch-up farm. There is still a ton of space coming out for Entity on Toby, though. Number 1 in net worth. We talked about him being left alone, Mike. He's got that blink up. He's ready to go.
That he is. Look at this, Jonathan Baboka. He was right in the nick of time. Would have been a great kill for the side of Aster had they been able to finish it off, but I think Manet just barely off with the axes. Yeah, look at that. The Tumbler's toy. Very nice play there from Pure. Pretty broken item, if you ask me, that neutral item, John.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of mobility early on is pretty important, and you can get a lot done with it. And you can also get a lot done with this blink on Toby. Again, he's just been kind of hanging around. Has the urn with only 1 charge up, but is ready to go with the black hole if they find that opportunity. So I'm wondering if entities start smoking up here, because it's a rushed blink. You know, if you do buy that blink early on the Enigma, it does feel like you're either going to be just wanting to jump in and catch someone out, Malefist them earlier, just go for the black hole play.
Absolutely. Aster. Smoking up. Towards the top side. Into that dire jungle they go. Ori, he'll frontline for the team. But Boca, he'll scout around. They might just find Fishman. Eventually they will. It's not the greatest kill in the world, but it's something for them to take. Aster, they'll be more than happy to take it. No problems. But Boca will be able to secure that one, though. Kataomi going to show up now. Toby right behind him. But Boca. Oh, there's the black hole, Toby. He's in. Siamese Cat going to try and protect them through this, but can he get it done? But Boca somehow alive as Ori going to turn right back around with a massive sonic wave, and now the false promise. The Tiny still making his way out. Ori, he'll blink out in time as well. They time nothing. Perfect setup from Toby, but even better saves coming out from Siamese Cat. They might eventually get the Oracle. It's just not worth the black hole, though.
No, that's the blink reveal coming out on Toby as well. They managed to stall that fight out really well, but they missed their shot. Really great plays coming out there from Siamese Cat, standing in the back line, getting all those saves out, getting the Edict off, getting the False Promise off, and they couldn't jump the back line. They just don't have that mobility on hand from Entity outside of that blink they have on Toby so far. So once they commit, they're kind of in. Again, we talked about this early on, Mike, but if you don't catch the Omni Knight from Entity, or if you don't catch the Oracle from Aster, it is actually pretty tough to find those kills, and Aster has been doing a much better job at catching out Fishman more than anything else.
Oh, absolutely. Fantastic play so far, 6-5, very slight net worth lead. The side of Entity. Of course, most of that net worth lead is sitting on the Enigma for now. Pure still farming very well, but so is Manet on that Troll Warlord. Having a much better game than last game around. Should have a lot more impact on this POS 1 Troll. Entity. It seems like they'll slow the game down a little bit, buy themselves a bit more time to get to the point where they want to be with this Batrider, because you don't have anything like the Blink up yet, nor do you have the BKB. Aster, on the other hand, however, well, the tables have turned, John. They're the ones to get aggressive in game 2, and right back they go into that dire jungle. They want more. Fishman, gonna get caught out again. I mean, he does tank the gank for the team. Fishman still surviving, will try for a TP play out and might actually make it, but no. Ori barely has damage in time with the help of the Purifying Flame from Siamese Cat. They do at least get something for their trouble.
Yeah, they're building up. They managed to stall out for Monet to finish up this Battle Fury on the Troll as well, so his farm's going to accelerate. And they've just done a great job of shutting down that jungle farming that NTT wants to do with the Leshrac and with the Bad Rider. Storm is forced to play down bot. They do have some good vision to watch him when he goes into the small camp. And Aster's just constantly grouping up top. They're playing as a unit outside of Monet. They're buying all the space out. They're getting their investment down. Should be able to find a good tower down mid. No defense out from Entity for that tier 1. So now that jungle's definitely just open for them to keep running around it.
Another great pick off here for Aster. That mid tier 1 tower just so important for their side of things to keep that farm going, but suddenly Aster can infiltrate quite easily. At least through the dire jungle, maybe not so much the triangle, but you certainly have a bit more access. Pure, you'll see, just continuing to try and keep his farm going. Working on towards the Kaya for now. Wonder, how's Monet farming, or what's he building up right now?
He's got the Battle Fury, he's going into the BKB. He's been left alone for a very long time. He's overtaken Toby in that word. And all the aggression coming out from Aster has just driven the attention away. Because they're the ones jumping in, they're the ones with the forward wards, and Entity just aren't ready to go. I mean, they could go every time Black Hole's ready with their blink up. But as you mentioned earlier, Mike, no BKB yet in Stormer. Your Leshrac needs a little bit more durability and damage coming out. And that's just not quite ready yet.
Bottom lane. Ori. Show up. Stormer will be there, but again, you don't have the blink initiation quite yet. So the rest of Entity are going to show up, trying to catch that Quap as he backs his way out, but a very nice TP away from Ori. Just reading the map movement of the side of Entity and just backing his way out immediately. And now Aster, you could go for a counter smoke as well, knowing exactly where Entity have gone. Hell, they might even try to just secure Roshan with this Troll Warlord, but instead, it seems like they might just secure the area around the Roshan pit for now.
Yeah, they take off the ward, so going to be a little bit dark here for Entity on that top jungle once more. And Aster do have a pretty good spot. They've got that blink on XXS.
Yeah, they do. Nice spear back. That'll be the blink reveal coming out right onto Fishman. Very nice kill onto the Omni Knight. Aster, what's the objective you want to go for, though? Do you start on the top tier 2 tower? Do you just get back to farming? Do you think about Roshan? What's the idea here, John?
I think you'd push the tier 2, take the outpost, go for Roche. Maybe look for a team fight beforehand. You kind of want to neutralize the Enigma because you know the blink Black Hole's there for the Roche pit. So just take the objective, take the outpost, maybe look for that pick off onto Toby. If not, plant some good forward vision to be defensive on the pit. And then just go for the objective. There's not much really stopping you. Entity, they're still playing a farm game. It's still going to take them some time to get online. The timing for the BKB of Stormer is going to be big, but it's still a ways to go. And he is eating all the farm on the map right now.
And he is. Smoke up, though, Entity. 4-man smoke. There you go, Stormer. Little arcane rune there from himself. Still has no way of breaking the gap, but Boca, though, he does.
Oh.
Nice toss back with the spear. Does not end up landing, so Fishman, he got the Guardian Angel off in time. Monet does get caught out with the Stormhammer, but is still looking rather healthy. Instead, Boca goes down, and now the Black Hole. They just secure the kill onto the Troll Warlord. Siamese Cat, he could not get a false promise off in time. A nice Sonic Wave, though. Pure is going to drop to it. As XXS, maybe a bit too far gone now, and the Stormer will drop. Toby still trying, but Ori, he's just manning up against them. Does take down another. Ori, how much further can you go? False promise is there. Lasso to hold him down. Can they keep him healthy enough? I doubt it.
Oh.
Siamese Cat, he will drop, and Ori does end up surviving. He trusts his Oracle, and it does work out.
Yeah, it's a real big back and forth. A couple of buybacks coming out there from Aster. The buyback in Boboka does make this a 4-4 in the end. And it's actually pretty even for both sides in terms of what they gain and lose. Maybe slightly better for Entity, just finding that troll kill a little bit earlier, despite losing out on Pure. That does stop the Roche attempt from Aster, but now they know Black Hole is down. That's the big threat in the pit. You're going to have to rely on Stormer running in. His blink is still a ways off. BKB is about to be finished. So there still could be play for Entity into the Roche pit. But Aster still has a pretty clear shot. They didn't blow the battle trance out in Monet as he was chain controlled up. And the cooldown on False Promise isn't too long. So Roshan is still a remote possibility here for Aster if they want to risk it.
As an Oracle spammer, Jonathan, this is the dream right now for Siamese Cat. Aether ends up. He picks up that new ring as well. Bonus cast range. You don't really care about the minus 20% max mana. Got a nice mana pool anyway. He's going to be able to just heal them up from a mile away now. It's just going to be impossible to catch up this Oracle, assuming Siamese Cat can position properly, and he certainly has been so far throughout this game number 2. It's just going to be a massive issue. Like, you've got this black hole, you've got this lasso, but the false promise just going to make it so hard to burst anyone down.
Yeah, it's already had its impact, as we've seen. If he managed to get the false promise onto Mene first during the black hole, and if he had these items up by then, it might have been a lot better as well. So that same kind of teamfight effect for Entity might not shape up again. They haven't been digging into the backline to start these fights. They've been lucky enough that Siamese Cat was a bit too far back, but now even just starting off with that Malefice might not be enough. BKB fully up on Monet, into the pit he goes.
Certainly so. You've got a Troll Warlord, you may as well get this Roshan started. Because they control that Dire Outpost as well, so it's a rather hard team fight for Entity to try and force now. It's very difficult to try and get in position to counter this Roshan, and well, they'll know now because the Eidolons do get taken out mid-river, but they understand they probably just can't get there in time. So they head down towards the bottom side instead and maybe try to push out the side lanes and get that bottom T2 tower, but Aster, they'll be more than happy to secure Roshan, pick it up for Mene, and they'll still be able to defend the bottom tier 2, no problem. In fact, an immediate smoke up. Aster, they want to fight, and they want to fight right now.
Yep, they've got a good position to kind of jump in. Nice vision coming out from Ori, blinking up, not even breaking his smoke in the process as well.
What we call an Ori teasy there, John. It's a Lacoste joke, I think. So, here we go, Fishman. Gonna get taken out. Very, very easy kill onto the Omni Knight. Not quite the kill you want for a big smoke like that, but you take what you can get. On the brighter side, Aster, they do now hold the Dire Triangle.
I'd argue killing off the Omni is actually really important. Like, in comparison, right? Aster, how many times have they actually lost Siamese Cat before a fight breaks out? Not much. Whereas, every time this Omni is down, you are at a very high risk for Entity to just get jumped on, no saves available on your supports, you're just stuck with a Sven. You aren't able to drag these fights long enough with a Heavenly Grace and with a Guardian Angel. Heck, I don't think we've even seen a big Guardian Angel anytime recently. So you kind of need to have your Omni playing with the team. You don't want him picked off solo. At the very least, he is far away enough that the follow-up fight doesn't come true. So that hasn't really led to massive kills yet, but down the line, once these respawns are longer, losing your Omni Knight early is very detrimental.
Absolutely. You're starting to see Entity just slowly falling behind. I mean, it doesn't look so bad because it's only 3k net worth, but in terms of the map and objective taking, they are just very, very far behind. Only finding the bottom tier 1 tower so far. Mid tier 1 tower still standing here for Team Aster. Of course, they are still confident in their ability to be able to fight back. Just keeping up in that net worth, keeping up with that farm. It only takes one good team fight to turn this game back around the other way. And don't forget, you've got a Leshrac, you've got an Enigma. You've got some Pusher. But you've got to get that good team fight going. We just haven't seen that so far for Game 2.
No, and it's really going to be tough. It feels like a lot of this game right now on Entity is on Toby and on Storm because of these early BKBs, because of all these saves coming out from Aster. They need to find a way to jump the backline. Take out Siamese Cat, somehow get chain control on Monet before he can pop his BKB. But with the Aegis up, I don't think he can deal with both BKB and one life. It just feels like Monet is going to be patient enough to just save the BKB. You waste maybe a black hole on him. What are you going to do with the BKB on the second life?
Very true. Monet. Back into that triangle. Top of the net worth board. 3k ahead of Pure now. Feeling very, very good. His own BKB to come out very soon. Pure. Aghanim Scepter has been queued up. The panel did talk about this, John, but Ori going to find him before that Ags is available. Pure, still going to be just fine to back off, but here comes Monet. XXS looking for an arena. Only going to find Kataomi, though. Not the greatest kill, but they'll get started. Meanwhile, a lasso on the backside. Who have they got? A big Sonic Wave. Stormstormer. He does find the Oracle this time around. No black hole being popped yet by Toby. Monet now. He's in big trouble. Entity. They'll at least find the Aegis. This could be the team fight, though, John. They've still got that black hole available, but they'll take what they get. They back off. They saw the buyback from the Oracle. They don't want to allow Aster to actually use that buyback effectively.
Yeah, it's a pretty good fight to force out from Entity, though. Not only did they get the Aegis, but the BKB was popped very early by Monet. Things not quite lining up. If they managed to get a bigger arena trapping in Pure, that might have ended up a little bit better for Aster, maybe not having to sacrifice that Aegis. Entity do get to stall the game out a little bit more. Again, the threat of Black Hole is still there, and Toby does have his own fresh BKB. So, as long as he's got the troll under control, there's really nothing stopping you from BKB Black Hole in this game.
Absolutely not. Aster still control the map, 5k ahead. Looking very, very good. Side of Entity are still sticking as a team, just waiting in case they need to force a fight. Ori gonna jump in onto Kataomi, but he just fine to back his way out. Aster not finding the opening they're looking for now. Because one good team fight for them and they might be knocking on high ground already. Again, Troll Warlord, pretty decent at taking towers at a decent pace. But Aster for now, again, they'll just control the triangle. Satanic also being built up onto Monet. You kind of wonder as well, is there a particular spike on Entity? In fact, hold that thought, John, because Stormstormer gonna get caught out. Nice spear away, but Toby, he's in. It's a one-man black hole, not the greatest. In fact, the Tiny, still not dead yet. There's the arena out, but Boca finally should drop it. No, he does end up going down eventually, but in they go. Onto Kataomi, Monet will find a trade for themselves. Entity, they want to keep this going? I don't think so. That'll be 2 for 1. The way of Aster. And the black hole, it's only on a support Tiny, John. It's not the one you're looking for.
Man, it's a blink black hole with BKB as well. So first BKB use from Toby doesn't quite line up the way they'd want to. It takes them a long time to follow up to kill off that Tiny. And as you mentioned, one small team fight leads to high ground push. Monet knows that the big tool they had to kind of shut him down is gone. They do still have the blink lasso from Stormstormer. They're just going to hedge their bets and kind of play poke and prod, not really force the issue too hard. But Entity have to kind of execute a little bit more simpler. I think it's back to Winter's point when he talked about these drafts. Entity's draft can work, but it's very specific on execution.
But they found a psychic headband now for this damn Oracle. I don't know if they'll give it to him, but they found one. Very, very nice.
Everything you could ask for. You know, just sit back, watch your team do all the work, get the saves off, and claim that it was all you.
To be fair, it is less cast range, but you know, regardless, you gotta get it. Very nice item there for Siamese Cat. Love to see it. Power spikes, Jonathan. Entity, what do they need to do to pull their way back into this game number 2?
Ags on Pure.
Ags.
That feels like the big one. Again, it's already pretty tough for the Leshrac with the early BKBs up, and again, you're playing into the Oracle as a Lesh, which can be a little bit annoying with the Fate's Edict and the False Promise as well. But the Ags Blink, I feel, just has to come out from Pure. If they can use that to jump, use that to kind of hedge their bets instead of just fully relying on Black Hole or on Lasso, it gives them more uptime, more tempo to play with. And you can just burst certain heroes down. Like, you're not going to have that spell immunity on all of the heroes, certainly not the support, so you could just jump the Oracle. If he decides to save himself, then anyone else that comes in is more than likely dead.
Yeah. 16 to 11. They still hold on to that 6k lead. Entity do reveal themselves in that mid lane. Just pump that creep wave, but Ori happily jumps in very, very confidently. Is Toby going to try as well? Immediate BKB out, trying to avoid the avalanche of Baboka. That'll be the BKB down for Toby for now. Aster probably not really going to be able to capitalize on this anyway. It's the black hole still 20 seconds away from being available. Aster instead, they'll just take the Dire Outpost back. Keep denying as much XP away from the side of Entity as possible. Just control that area of the map. Can they make their way to the triangle though? Stormstormer. Go to the low ground. Ori, making his way over, is going to find the Batrider, but a nice blink away from Stormstormer. Just TP right out of there, not risking his own life. Of course, Pure, he'll stick around and continue pushing out the side lanes, and this is about all they can do against Aster right now. You're not ready to fight, push out the side lanes, don't ever allow them to feel comfortable going onto your high ground. But I think for Aster, John, it's probably all going to be about Roshan for now.
Yeah, just a patience game. Wait for that respawn coming out mint and a half. And that's more than enough time for you to have the BKB back up in Toby, so it's going to have to be a fight before Roche once more. You got a key pickoff and start going.
That's a smart pickup though from the Troll Wall. In fact, hold that thought, John. Stormstormer going to find a great lasso onto the Quap, going to burst them down. That's the thing, you cop that lasso with the Ags up now on the Leshrac. It's just so much magical burst to be coming. Thing is though, Monet, he is building up an Aghanim Scepter, so he can dispel the Ethereal on himself, as the Omni is also going to get caught out. A 1-for-1 so far, still in the favor of Entity as they continue jumping in onto Baboka this time around. Baboka, though, very healthy thanks to Siamese Cat. Going to be confident to keep moving, but in they go again with the Ethereal. They can't purge it off. The disarm was there as well. Still trying to use up and run. Baboka might eventually drop a no. Fate's Edict is there to protect. The Flame Break, it may not be enough. They peel him up with the Purifying Flames. Pure, he'll make the jump in just so aggressively. And it works out. It certainly pays off for the side of Entity. Aster just not confident to force the fight.
That's a bit surprising coming out from Aster. They do respect the fact that Entity weren't using much from their other heroes. Like, there was still the looming threat of Toby with his Blink BKB Black Hole and just not even showing up too much in that chase. And Pure does whittle away his mana. It doesn't matter. No one comes in to make use of that moment where he has not much to play with. Start of the fight looked decent for Aster. And they found a couple of pickoffs despite losing Ori early on, but then it just kind of devolves and they never find that angle for the backline.
But they do not, John. They do not. Roshan is going to be up as well. This is the kind of heartbreaking part for Aster now. If you are Entity, you are going to be looking to Roshan very soon. Problem is, I don't believe they've actually checked the Roshan pit, sadly.
They've got Eidolons around.
All right. We are still seeing the tail end of that team fight breaking out, and there we go. Roshan still not being taken by either side. Aster, of course, waiting for their full team to respawn before they do end up going back towards the pit. Notice Entity aren't actually trying to force it anyway. It's not quite willing to risk it quite yet, even though they do still have the Black Hole available. See them go in now. The Eidolons looking to scout out the Roshan pit. Roshan just so important in a game like this for either side. There's your 5-man smoke up. Aster, they'll be the first to try and draw blood. It's Pure. Back their way out. Aster just taking the long way around right behind the side of Entity. Ori again, right onto the cliff, getting that vision early. Entity, they are wrapping around the other way, going back toward, in fact, never mind, they're in. They found Toby, though, on the Enigma. They needed the Black Hole. He'll buy back. They need him in this team fight. But Aster, they see the buyback. They're more than happy with that. Lasso's out, though. They'll at least find the Mars. Not a bad trade whatsoever. You're still committed buyback, which means you are forced to try and go for Roshan now, though, if you are Entity. And Aster, they'll stick around. They do have buyback available in XXS if he does want to commit, and he may just have to.
Yeah, they're ready to go. Baboka does have the Blink play if he wants, although.
Oh, he may not have a life very soon, John. Very nice avalanche out onto the tiny Toby. Forced the Black Hole, but that's a great Black Hole out. Oh, he's caught 2 massive targets. Monet, he'll survive with the false promise for now. XXS, he's brought back into the team fight. He'll hold down Pure, but Monet, he has no chance of survival. The Troll Warlord will go down. XXS, he'll try to run. Siamese Cat will do the same. Can they cancel the TP? Not quite, but it won't matter. They've got a Roshan to go back to here. Toby, it looked bad for him at the start being tossed back, but a great Black Hole to set up. Baboka maybe helping the enemy a bit there, John.
Yeah, it felt like they should have been able to deal with that at some point, but yeah, Toby just plays patiently, sees that big moment to get his own Black Hole off. He's been holding off for such a long time and gets the work done. The damage coming out from Pure when these BKBs are down is just huge. The Nihilism, even amping up, of course, the Midnight Pulse, because that is magical now, so everyone just melts when you're stuck in there.
Oh, absolutely. Not a very fun time at all. I'm sure we'll be seeing a replay of that very, very soon. This game has gotten a lot more spicy as time's gone on now. Aegis, the side of Entity. 2K advantage now their way as well. And you've got to start asking yourself, has Aster kind of thrown the game back the Dire's way? With this Aegis now, they've got to be very cautious not to really try and force a fight before it does expire. Play. Baboka initially caught out. Of course, there's your Black Hole. And in fact, I did say it was a toss back, but it was a blink in. Toby, just a perfect setup. Monet, there's only so much you can do here. Like, you pop the false promise, you try and protect the Troll. There's only just too much things going on, too much control here for the Troll Warlord.
Yeah, it's tricky. Like, you didn't manage to find the Omni Knight either, so the Guardian Angel comes up, the physical output of your Troll just dissipates instantly. Can't really try to survive with his lifesteal in his battle trance along with a false promise. So you are finding a lot of things going right now for Entity. Again, this lineup, it's a little bit harder to pull off, but they've been able to drag in Aster in moments where they probably wouldn't want to fight. Moments when their BKBs are down, moments when certain spells aren't ready, they're not in good position, and Entity just recognizes that and find the angle in. 3K lead coming out for Entity now, 18-17. Sort of reminiscent of their last series with Secret, which we watched. Like, they have a rough first start. But
it's going to be spotted. Pure, he's right in. Siamese Cat, the immediate target of the Leshrac. He'll get stunned up, but Aster looking to fight back now with a great arena from XXS. That'll be ages to go down. It's Entity. They'll try for a bit more. They won't be able to catch much, though. But Boca, XXS still on the run, but Storm are right on the chase. Avalanche to hold them back, but Boca will have to die for this. And will drop eventually. There's still a bit of a trade going on here for Entity. So they might be able to move into that mid-tier 2 tower now. Still feeling very confident. Only issue being they do lose the Aegis, but see what they can get out of this.
Yeah, they probably can't aim for the high ground. They're not even really looking to force in that mid, paying some respects to what Aster can get done. The next Roshan is still a ways off. 5.5 minutes until we see that timer. So maybe just play for the objectives, you know, shut down the map more, prevent Aster from getting any further build-up. As there is still room to grow, especially for Monet, and even Ori has got a lot that they can get into. The Lincolns is probably the next big thing. Block off the Lasso, block off the Malefice. Both of those are pretty big to block, especially since we're seeing Toby with a Shard. With that increased stun duration on Malefice, it's pretty damn hard for you to get anything done if you don't have a Dispel.
Yeah. Now you've got the Refresh Orb up as well onto the Batrider, so even more control to come out here. It's Entity will take back that Radiant outpost now. Refresh Orb almost done as well on Toby. This is where things get very scary against the Enigma. Entity, 5-man smoke up. Through to the mid lane they go. No one really going to be around, and a very nice scan from Aster, right on target. Knowing exactly where Entity are is Baboka, who will have a look around for a toss-back target. Some vision down as well, but it is spotted by Fishman. Baboka, he does get that toss he wanted. Can they get the Omni? They can for now, but there's the black hole again. Toby, he's in perfectly with the perfect black hole out onto 2 calls. Monet, he's going to try to run, but there's Lasso there to hold him down. He'll pop the battle trance, he'll try to survive through it, and maybe he can. He's still fighting. A Sonic Wave out Ori. He'll take down the Batrider, but they've lost Monet. They'll buy back on the Quap. They'll try to get back into this one. Punish Entity a little bit more. Toby, he'll get caught out. Split Earth is there though. Kataomi trying to hold them back with Baboka. Is in with the Avalanche toss combination. Eventually they should have a couple more to come. Kataomi. Oh, he ends up getting...
Neutral.
Oh, neutrals. All right.
Jeez.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's a back and forth one. It does still feel maybe slightly better for Entity because... well, they forced the buyback out from Ori, but Aster only really lose 2 heroes. They are the biggest heroes to lose, but look at that. I want to see this again.
Was it the spell, though? There's too many heroes around, perhaps. Oh, look at that.
It looked like just a right-click. Just
Wow.
the damage was just right. Look at that.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that was maybe like 1 HP, literally 1 HP or something like that.
What do you do?
Yeah,
Still a
something
great team fight.
Yeah, it's still better for Aster. Even though, again, they lose their 2 biggest heroes, they force the buyback on Ori, but Entity lose 2 big heroes as well, in the Batrider and the Enigma, and they're not able to get much. They are still waiting for Roshan for both sides, but they don't manage to clear out the map further. Bot tier 2 still stands, top tier 2 still stands. Aster is still getting a steady flow of gold. The lead of Entity is holding at 3K. So it's not really building up. I think both sides have been able to keep parity despite how much map control the other side gets or loses. So they've managed to just keep up with each other's farming pace. And this is where maybe the scaling comes in. The Leshrac is still big, and we're also seeing a refresh come out for Pure, which is actually massive when you play with a double BKB, double Nihilism. The issue is, again, if you manage to use your BKBs properly and prevent the black hole, Entity's game gets really tough. You can hope that Stormer delivers the goods. I mean, he has been on point with his Blink Lasso so far. It's a lot of pressure to put onto these 2 players.
Toby's got that Refresh Orb up now, John. The double ulti's available. Entity grouped up. Nice spell prism there for the Batrider. Can't complain about that. They're not quite ready yet to go. It's Roshan again going to be the main objective to play for here for either side. It's a very close matchup, only 5k behind here for Team Aster. Even a Lincoln Sphere to come out, it looks like on the Queen of Pain, just trying to avoid the lassos flying out here from the bat. Very, very annoying here for Ori in the middle of these team fights, and you saw it last team fight as well. He's getting lassoed up and being dragged around, just not the greatest experience for him. Do you wait for Roshan now, John, or do you try and smoke up and force a fight with these refresher orbs up?
You wait for Roche to be closer. Maybe when you're about 30 seconds away, maybe when you know the timer's going to be showing up, that's when you can kind of just go for the smoke play and just instantly Roche. You don't want to give that breathing room out to Aster, although if you find that kill on Ori, that would be a dieback, and that might just buy you enough time regardless. Although Aster are the ones to go for the smoke play.
They're the ones that are going to try, John. It's a very risky team fight to try and force out, but Aster, they've got to get something done. They'll hold the triangle for now. Into the river they go, Pure. He's in the Roshan pit to break the smoke if they do move too close. But Boka naturally looking for a nice toss-back target, but has no vision. There'll be a counter smoke now from Entity. This could be a massive fight for either side. Fishman, he'll show himself, almost baiting them, though he is still smoked up, but Baboka, he'll have his smoke broken, and there you go. Stormstormer's in, with the lasso out. XXS, he's there with the arena, but the black hole again, Toby. He will put a stop to all of this as the Mars just getting caught out. Toby still going, has another, a massive sonic wave, though Ori dealing so much damage as they do take down the Onion and now Monet. He'll make the jump in, but now another black hole out, Toby. He won't allow it. The Troll Warlord, he's been caught out again, but the false promise this time around. Gonna save the day as Entity. They are melting slowly but surely. A nice lasso though, Stormstormer. Gonna keep the fight going, but not for long. They'll try to back now as Monet right back into the fight. Toby, he'll fight back as well. And surprisingly, John, not too many heroes dropping throughout all of this.
Yeah, a lot of big commitments from both sides, a lot of good saves from both sides. It does hurt Entity a lot more. They use a lot of their refreshers and their big spells. So they're going to be out for the count for quite a fair bit. At the very least, Roche is not too badly aligned with their big ultimates, especially at that double black hole. So right about when Roche spawns, you will have the double black hole, double BKB use on Toby, and that might be enough for them to kind of get a good grip onto the Roshan. So some good news there. Aster, though, really big win. They play it much more patiently. They dance back and forth. And if they can find this next Roche, the high ground, again, it becomes a very clear possibility for Aster, especially considering what they might get.
And I said there wasn't many kills, John, but our observers have pointed out many buybacks happened for Entity that team fight as well. Props to Aster for that. Just so much chaos in the middle of these team fights. They do make the jump in onto the left rack. Toss back onto Pure, in a bit of danger. Is going to try and fight now with the Nihilism. Looks like Baboka, he's the one in danger, but Toby also getting caught out. There's Fishman as well in the arena. Both of them caught with their pants down here as Entity. They are starting to drop like flies. No buybacks available on all three heroes to go down, and suddenly Aster, they have a path to the high ground. It's even Stormstormer trying to run with his BKB still available, but it does wear off now, and that should be a fourth to go down. He doesn't have buyback either, John. That'll be a dieback for the Bat.
Yeah, I believe that's all the heroes who literally bought back in that last fight.
Wow.
They just don't have anything. And that should be the path to the high ground for Aster. Instead, they will check Roche, which is very well timed as it just spawns up. So they timed it perfectly here on Aster. Going to be very secure onto their high ground siege. That will give some time for the respawns to reel in, but not really much. Maybe you get your Sven back, maybe you get the Omni Knight back. But you're not going to have the Enigma, and you're not going to have the Batrider with the double lasso. That's huge tools that you won't have for this critical defense.
Yeah. Going to be Aster. Monet, he'll just get the Roshan done by himself. Happy days for him. Roshan would stop bashing the poor man. Done eventually. Ags up on Ori as well. He'll take it for himself. So the Ags Blasting now available.
That's exciting. The AoE Shadow Strike with releasing a tiny scream of pain every time it ends or is reapplied.
Wow.
That's going to be nice, and it's a good chunk of damage if you're not careful there.
Thank you, Agnim's Labyrinth. Very, very good. Their tier 3 tower. Going to drop very quickly here to Monet. Challenging team fight to try and force without the Batrider available. It's going to be a 4-on-5 situation. He'll try to slow it down, chip away at Monet. Keep in mind, he does have the Aegis available, along with a cheese on Ori. So again, very challenging to try and force this team fight. Another tier 3 to be taken down. It looks like Aster. They'll get started. Baboka, he's in. Pure, not going to be taken out so far. The toss is not going to be there from Baboka as XXS. He'll make the jump in, and Toby, he's got the black hole, but do they have the follow-up? Pure's in. Monet, he'll pop the battle trance though. Pure, he's been caught. Another black hole though. Toby, he may have deceived the day, but no, the false promise. It's there in time. Monet's going to survive all the way through it, it seems. Though there is a split earth. Lock them down for a little bit more. Pure, he's on the run, just trying to survive through all of this. A lasso out, Stormer. He'll catch the Oracle, not taking him down quite yet, but eventually they'll find it. Aster, who are we actually going to catch this time around? Everyone's just TPing out. It still seems like a successful fight for the side of Aster, though. They'll head up towards the top tier 3 tower once again, and they'll get started once again. But they'll see the buyback from Kataomi, and that's going to be enough.
I'm a bit surprised they back off with Kataomi's buyback. I mean, you don't have to worry about the double lasso. You don't have to worry about the double black hole here. You do not have the Oracle to save, and maybe that's why it feels a little bit riskier. So they don't get over themselves here and just kind of get ahead of themselves and, you know, try to force an issue. And they'll just play it safe. 20k lead up now for Aster, 21 to 22. Entity. And they still have high ground hold. You can never count a Enigma lineup out. But again, it's going to be all about the execution. If they can find a backline properly, if they can get a huge double black hole, that's where things start to shine. If they don't manage to catch some key heroes, like say the Oracle a little bit earlier in these fights, you don't really have a good way of dealing with Monet's Troll, with how durable it is.
We go again, John. Refresher Orb now available on Ori as well, so double Sonic Wave up. Aster. Still have the Aegis for another 2 minutes 20 seconds, so plenty of time to play with this for Monet. This will be the second lane of barracks for the side of Aster to take, and Entity, I don't think can try and force this without the double black hole available from Toby. So they'll let this one go down. They'll hold on to the one lane of barracks left. But even then, you've still got 45 seconds without that ulti. You might be able to afford to try and force that final lane of barracks, and I think Aster just may.
There's not much really holding them back.
Apart from the creep wave.
Well, it is pretty far out. They can go through backdoor with a creep wave already down mid and top though, but they're not going to necessarily risk it. Play around with these troll illusions, pump them up, just kind of, you know, poke and prod.
Eidolon lives going down here in this game. A lot of gold being fed back the way of Aster. My goodness. Very, very sad.
It's one of those things, right? You summon them all the time. They're fairly easy to kill at this stage of the game, so they're just kind of a gold sink. In the wider view of things, that gold is fairly split up, so it's not the biggest loss in the world, but that is helping accelerate certain heroes' farms. Great pickup here by Toby into the Aeon Disc already, so a little bit more protection to ensure that he can maybe channel the black hole more for the control. And we'll see if he'll manage to get a good use out of that. Hex already up on XXS as well, so giving them some much needed control here on the Mars. Again, only one set of racks standing left for Entity. They've got to play this high ground perfectly. They've been very patient now. We are seeing Storm maybe just shoving down bot, playing around with ninja gear. If he gets caught out, that could be pretty detrimental, but he again just goes back and plays it safe.
Yeah. Now, Ori does show himself anyway, so definitely not going to show himself up down to that bot lane now. Aster looking for another fight. Boka, he'd love a toss-back target at the moment. So we do see even more Eidolons go down. But Boka, he'll get some nice vision down behind that tree line, just in case somebody does make their way through to the low ground. But now Aster, 21k advantage. Aegis should be expiring rather soon, to be fair, so they might just be waiting for the next Roshan. No need to rush it for Aster, that's the thing. You can play this very slowly. You've got a huge net worth lead, you control the map. Entity the ones that need to make the first play. And Aster, they can just take their time.
Yeah, just play it patiently. You've pretty much almost got the Swift blinked up on Monet. So maybe just holding on for the buyback goal there as well. And again, you've got that option to jump the back line, to make it really awkward, to find that big black hole, to find that save from Fishman. And again, you take out any part of that equation, the Omni Knight or the Bat Rider or the Enigma, and it just doesn't feel like you're going to have a good time when Aster does commit the full 5-on-5. So just play it safe, play the high ground, play to your strengths on the side of Entity. They will go for a smoke play though, so maybe not. Maybe just try to catch him off guard in Aster.
But they've got the low ground disadvantage here, Entity. It's going to be a hard way to get back into this triangle. Smoke is broken on Stormstormer, so they know they are waiting. Ori, he'll jump in. Just no fear. Toby, he's popped the black hole, but the Oracle's right behind. This black hole does nothing. Ori, he'll just keep going. Look at this Giga Chat on this Queen of Pain, John. No fear in the world, but has he been caught out? Oh, he has. Onto Siamese Cat, they find the Oracle. That'll be another. Buybacks incoming though from Aster. They'll keep the fight going. But Boca also caught out now on the Tiny. They are dropping like flies here, Aster. Can they turn this one around? Toby's in with another black hole, but it's cancelled off. The Mars got him this time around. Monet, he'll make his way onto the Enigma. Take Toby down. He's gone. Double kill for the Troll Warlord as XXS. He'll keep the fight going. Onto Fishman they go. Spear, it's gonna land. The Force Staff was there, but it won't matter. Sonic Wave is there. Monet, he's on a triple kill now as Pure. Back in. Now the Swift Link back up Monet. He'll get an Ultra at this rate. Pure cannot escape. He's been ensnared up. That's the Ultra kill. Can we get himself a rampage? Stormstormer, he will back his way out. He'll be fine. Aster, they'll leave it at that for now. 3 down without buyback. They'll realize very soon Entity just don't have any more left. Onto the high ground they go.
It's such a massive win. I mean, you mentioned it, Ori just holding the fort, holding the line, forcing all these big spells, giving the opportunity for Aster to just kind of dance around everything else and enable Monet to have a pretty safe time going in for the second half of that fight. Mega creeps up, 2 heroes left to defend with a 20-second respawn with no black hole for Toby. The defense it's pretty damn rough for Entity. It looks like it's pretty much done.
Yeah, I mean, GG call might be coming. They'll try one more time, but a nice scythe device out from XXS, locking down the Bat Rider. Stormstormer, he'll buy back. This will be the last attempt here from Entity. They're losing their T4 towers as we speak. They've got to make their way in. They've got to try. Pure, he'll make the jump in onto Siamese Cat. He wants that +5 Oracle, but he won't find him. Monet right onto the Leshrac. Pure trying to run. Lasso is there. Dispel is out from Monet though. Onto the Bat Rider. Toby getting stunned up in the arena as well. It's all over. GG's called. Aster, they at least managed to tie this series up 1-1. But what a great series it was, Jonathan. What a hype series it was. So much chaos in both these games.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth, a lot of great moments for both sides. Entity, they managed to play really well. With all of that farm they gave Toby, they kind of sacked Pure's lane early on. He had a pretty rough time up top. Toby had base